Hi guys, welcome back to another video. In this video we're going to head off and collect our beef from the butcher, and we've also just got word that there's going to be a compulsory housing order introduced on all poultry in Ireland, so we'll talk a little bit about that as well. Yeah, so they've introduced a housing order on poultry here in Ireland, and this is the third year in a row now in the trot we get it. And I guess it's the number of wild birds. We haven't had a very bad history with bird flu here in Ireland. We've had one case last year, not quite as bad as maybe in the UK or mainland Europe. Some countries got really hit bad with it last year, so they've really shut down things here pretty tight. We have had it's been in I think maybe 60 cases in wild fowl, and they've had now one case in a commercial flock, so we're on lockdown. Quite interestingly, it's sparked a debate that we're going to have no turkeys for Christmas, and the main pressure seems to be coming from the IFA, or the Farmers Union, particularly the Poultry Farmers Union, and I'm not sure what that's about. I think maybe it's a ruse, or it's a plan to push, because I don't think there's any compensation or insurance in place if your flock gets wiped out with bird flu, and I think they're maybe trying to lobby or push to have some sort of financial incentive should it happen, should a big chunk of the poultry, or at least the turkey industry, get wiped out, to get some financial incentive for that. But I'm pretty sure, I mean, majority of the turkeys are housed in this country anyway, so as long as they adhere to their biosecurity measures, which poultry farmers in this country are pretty good at, I think Irish people are going to have turkey for Christmas, and they don't need to scaremonger the general public like that so much. The sun's out, but we're just heading off to the butcher's to pick up the beef. Now you can see the water there in front of us. Our butcher's is, well, it's probably a little bit further around on the water, but they're just across the water there. It's maybe like 20 miles, but I got to go, like, it's nearly 50 minutes driving, because I got to go all the way in around this water. It goes way in a bay here, and I got to drive all the way around the bay. So maybe it's a little boat I need to get, but yeah, we're heading off to the butcher. So I sent two animals to the butcher. One was a female, or a heifer, and the other was a male, or what we would call a bullock. And there were two Dexters, and they were just turned 2 years old, 24-month-old. And now typically with Dexters you would probably even hold them off till they're about maybe even 2.5, if not 3 years old, just because they're that smaller framed cattle. But for me, I really believe grass-fed beef should be taken in the autumn or in the fall if you're in the States, because if you're buying grass-fed beef, you know, in spring or in summer, that animal has gone through the winter on lower quality forage or hay, and whereas if you're taking it in fall, you've had all spring growth, summer growth, and into the late fall growth, so you've got all that good grass into the animal. And I really didn't want to keep the animals over the winter, so it made more sense in my context as a whole to take the animals, even though they were probably a bit smaller or lighter than what would have been optimum. But the live weights of both the animals, one was 280 kilos and the other was 300, which is probably a good average weight for a grass-fed Dexter at that age. Then a hanging weight, they were hanging at 154 kilos and 168 kilos. And that left me with, when we had it broken down, and this will depend on how you get your meat broken down, if you do a lot of bone in or bone out joints, etc. But for me, I was left with 208 kilos of packaged meat ready to sell to the customer. And I typically sell my meat two ways. I sell it in boxes for 15 euros a kilo across the board, or I sell it in individual cuts. And the average of all my sales is about 16 euros a kilo. So those two animals basically grossed me 3,330 euros, with those associated costs to come out of that as well. I'm just back from the butcher's, picked up my two cows. Really happy with how they came out. So we got them broke down into burgers. The butcher will pre-make burgers, and they put them in these little trays to keep them nice and safe, because they'll get knocked about if they bag them off. And we got mince, boxes and boxes of mince. We've got diced, this is diced stewing beef. And we've got roast, some beautiful roasts. And this is all our steaks. We've got strip loin, ribeye, fillet, T-bone. So I got to start to pack this off, and we'll get some of it out onto the table and show you what it looks like. My process for packing off beef. Got my label maker here. I'm making up my labels, and then I basically label everything off or bag it off. So the likes of our mince, I'll pack them into bags, and our stewing beef and our steaks. So I prep it. So I put whatever many packs of mince I'm putting in a pack, label it up. So I'm doing my burgers now, then I gotta go through my roast, my steaks, and I basically prep all them up in bulk in baskets. And then I'll pick my orders into baskets. I'll put out all my baskets here with all my orders of what people want, fill them up and store them in the fridge. The majority of this beef is going to be collected from the farm, and all I do here is I take it, if I need to weigh stuff I weigh it and put on my label, put it in the basket, fill up the basket and just go. So label everything and then pick my orders. If we are shipping stuff out, we use wool cool boxes for shipping out, but it's very slick, streamlined, doesn't take me long. Here's a little trick here I've actually been doing. It works well. If you've got chest freezers, you can put weight on the top to keep the lid down, because I find moisture can slowly get in there in air, and then it starts to create frost and ice on the inside. So I just put, now these straps aren't tight, they're literally just giving it rather than me putting away, because I like to use them as counters. So if I put stuff sitting up there to weigh the lids down a little bit, I can't use it as counter space then. Let's check out some of this meat. So this is strip loin. It's beautiful marbling going through that. Some nice fat laid down in the back of the animal there too. Here's some beautiful ribeye. Check that out. Don't know what I'm going to go for. I think I'm going to go for some fillet maybe tonight. And the burgers look really good too. I think I'm going to maybe go for some burgers tomorrow night. And I got to keep on packing here. We're still grazing the goats out in the field. Their growth has really slowed down. So we spend about 3 days in each 3 lane, and it'll take us about 6 weeks to get around the farm, take us right up to Christmas almost. And the goats will probably be in more then, or there's areas around the polytunnel that will just hit extra harder. You can see behind me, I just drove out with the quad there to move the mobile shelter, and that's just in and out. And so it's one thing I like about the goats. Like, I just driven out with the quad there and you can clearly see it, but I've been taking the goats in and out here every morning and evening, and they haven't been marking the ground at all. I just set up this little temporary lane here, and it funnels the goats into the tunnel and out, and it saves us running after them all morning. Yes, come on. So I have some I'm working on some big plans for next year that I haven't fully figured out yet. There's a lot of changes happening on the farm, and I'm working on some plans for next year that I haven't fully committed to yet, but it means a lot of changes of how I do things in the farm here. And one thing I am thinking about is maybe reducing my goat herd, and that's just down around the commitment. I don't know if I want to commit to milking goats every day on the farm next summer. And if I'm not going to milk goats, I don't need this many goats. I only need a couple of goats in the herd really, and I can always build it up again if I want. So I'm trying to figure everything out, and hopefully I'll have kind of my mind made up, and I'll be able to tell you guys what my plans are for 2023. Come on, goats. Come on. Come on. Come on, Jesse, come on in here. Come on, Jess, come on in here. Just wait. Come on, you. Let's go. Up this way. No, Jesse, out. This is the goat that had the really sore foot, and she mended up really well, but now I see she's a little lame. So when I bring her in this evening, I'll have a look and see if she maybe need a trim or what's causing her some ailments. This really wet weather, wet soggy ground, is not ideal for goats either. They're holding up well. These guys here seem to hold up better. The Toggleworth, come on, let's go. So I'm definitely going to be moving towards these guys. Come on, let's go, let's go. Up. Or the lighter frame goat in general works better here. Obviously, if you're looking for milk production, they're not going to yield as much, but you're just going to have to do more smaller goats. I think is going to be better in the long term. These guys are nice. They'd be considered, I think, a medium frame goat, which I think is better for this area. Okay, I just remembered I didn't put up a back fence here, so I need to go and do that. I moved the shelter and I never put up these guys. Let me just hook it on there. Get the next one. Hook it on. There we go. This pole needs to get moved down. About there. And the last guy. No, I need to go and close this side here. That's them for the day. It's evening time now, and you can see the job the goats are doing. They're actually cleaning up all the rushes for me, which is handy this time of year. And I can really time the impact to get some nice impact on the grass. And I'm scared, always paddy last. Yeah. Come on, up, let's go. Let's go. Now, the biggest problem walking in and out here is actually me now. I'm the one that's going to tear the ground up the most. Not the goats. Come on, let's go. Up. Shh, shh, shh. Come on, Jess. Just way here, Jess. Here. Come on. Shh. It's maybe a little bit early, so they're not going straight in. Up. Come on. Up. Shh, shh, shh. Let's go. Let's go. Jessie, come on up here. Come back. Jess, come back. Good girl. Come back. There you go. Good girl. Up. Get up. Get up. Come on. Easy ones. Come on. Come on. Come on. Okay, Jessie, come on. Sometimes Jess gets too far ahead of herself. Up. Let's go. Jessie, come on. Good girl. Oh, we lost a goat over the gate. She's down there. Up. Shh. Let's go. Up. Up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Goats are problematic like this. Oh. Up. Jessie, come back. Yeah, take her on round. Jessie. Yes. Come back. Jess, get her. Come back. Wait, wait, wait. Wait. Okay, Jess. Come back. Come back. Oh, Jess, you okay? Oh, she got T-boned by a piece of wood. Wait. Wasn't that stressful? Let me just pen them up. Good girl. You okay? Come on in. Come on in. Come on. Come on. Come on. Shh. Up. Let's go. Let's go. Up. Let's go. Jess. Come back. Come back. Shh. Up. Up. Yes. So the housing order was introduced on Monday past there. These guys were already in their winter housing. I kind of preempted it. It's going to happen anyway. I don't recommend doing pastured layers in the winter time in Ireland. Look back at my previous videos, it's detrimental to the ground. Now that is context specific, so some people out there it might be an option for them. It's just not an option for me. One thing you will notice is I did take my feeder in here. A couple of reasons for that. I found the chickens were spilling more grain out than I would like, so now I'm trialing. I just put this little grate in front of it, and it was just causing well, a wastage issue and maybe a rodent issue. So now I do notice, I don't think you can see all the chickens are eating here. Not so many are eating here, so I think I need to change this for a bigger mesh I think maybe this mesh is too small, and this is basically how I figure stuff out. I just do it and observe. So it's pretty straightforward here. This isn't working because nobody's eating on this side, everybody's eating on this side. So I'll whip that out, try something different, and I just keep trying until it looks right, because there's no mesh on that side in there, and keep going. Now there's no grain. Before the mesh was on, there was grain on the ground here, so I have achieved the fact that there's no grain. I just now have a problem the birds can't eat, so we'll change that out and try something new and just keep working on it slowly like this here. They can still get grain on the other side, so I'm not worried. But it's a lot easier for me filling it in here too, so I think it was a good move. That's it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching, and if you have any comments or any thoughts, just stick them down in the comment section, and please give it a like to push the channel along.